Welcome back. You're watching Sohn Conference, the big faces. Now, India is a land of opportunity, and its open-mindedness in terms of fresh investments has attracted over 500 investors to this Sohn Conference. It was no surprise that it was a jam-packed investor conference. In fact, we got a lot of stock ideas. And from the sidelines of the conference, I got a chance to talk to Ramesh Damani. He is betting big on QSR. Despite the recent hurdles, he believes that this is one space which would make investors a lot of money going forward.
Keep your high quality stocks, not trade them because you're nervous right now. But the two things that make me uncomfortable in the market is that while the Nifty or the Sensex keeps making new highs, the undertone or the breadth of the market has turned sharply negative, which is never a good sign. It means at least some sort of intermediate top is in place, perhaps. Secondly, Bank Nifty has made a new high a few weeks ago, but individual component companies are not being able to repay the debt. So that's the flip side of a banking crisis. So I'm not bearish, but I'm more watchful. I think a lot of people will agree with me that there's some froth in the valuation, and some stocks, maybe in the mid-cap sector, have run ahead of the fundamentals. So I'm usually 99% invested. Maybe I'm now 95% invested.
Reluctant buyer you are right now.
Sir, there is a reason you have been called the Nawab of Dalal Street. Same time last year you said, markets will climb the wall of worry. It has. Markets are at a new high. From here, you think, we are in a safe zone in the sense markets will continue to go up?
I don't know what during the next 3 months or 6 months. I think the world is becoming a very complicated. Over 12 to 18 months, I'm optimistic. I see no reason to think that the market will correct more than, say, 10%. There's no indications that I'm getting, no technical factors. None of the companies that I talk to are suggesting that they have weak earnings 1 year down the road. I think we're just going through a very tricky passage domestically thanks to GST and frothy valuations. Globally thanks to Brexit, British election, what Donald Trump is doing. So we're just going through a period of slight uncertainty, I would say.
You've been a big believer of buying quality companies. I know a lot of your quality stocks have already done 10x, 12x from what you've bought. Are you now getting enough opportunities to buy good companies at good price?
I am, to be honest, Nimesh, I am. The two sectors that we played out over the last couple of years, in terms of new ideas, one has been in cyber security, but that hasn't worked out, to be honest with you. The shares there are still underperforming, despite the ad that we said has came out with WannaCry, that everyone woke up one day to realize the frightening details of what happens when cybersecurity hits you. So I think the theme will play out. The other theme that I've been mulling over the last few years is that this move from unorganized to organized, move to value, move to a mass market. I think we're trying to find an expression of that in the quick service restaurant business, because we think there's a market that's waiting to explode as more women work, as it's more convenient to eat out, as it's cheaper to eat out. I think that industry is propelled for, as Ramdev said in his presentation today, heady growth over the next 3, 5, 10 years. So we're looking at that space in terms of a new idea.
You're talking about organized play. I take your point. Titan today is up some 15 or 16%.
Had a great day, yeah.
Phenomenal. And once again, just re-emphasizes that if you buy good stocks at lower levels, you make money. But is this a space, gems and jewelry, which can be part of this organized space? The listed players getting more and more business and moving on from here?
I think so. Anything organized will do well, as opposed to unorganized, because the unorganized now competes on the same level ceiling or level floor as the organized players. So they will have to, up their game, if you will. So the organized players like Titan will do well. And this jewelry market is not going to go away. I mean, Indians love jewelry for weddings, for, births, for so many other occasions in their lives. So I think we want to look at that huge value golden mean. We want to find out things that are moving from unorganized to organized, delivering value. For example, what I talked about in the quick service restaurant business, you get air conditioner, you get to sit down, you get Wi-Fi available, you get cheap food, and all friends can get together and have there. And basically, we will not be wanting to eat on the roadside stall as much, because you want the comfort of sitting down, AC, whatever.
Now that the GST is finally coming in place, it's likely to implement from July 1st. Do you think now that's the time now for sector to watch out for? Because you see a seamless movement of goods and services?
that was a promise by which we bought the logistics stocks. I'm not sure I'm buying them now. But market factors this in. All these stocks have had a fabulous run out there. But having said that, yes, there's enough opportunity, and people don't understand what a seamless market means, what central warehousing means, what free movement of goods means. In the next 6 months, I think due to GST, there'll be a lot of dislocation. I think a lot of companies will have very volatile earnings this quarter and the next quarter because of GST, and also depending from where it's going. But after that, it will revolutionize, one India, one market type of theory. So clearly, logistics company will do well. But some part of it is now factored into those prices.
Sir, you've seen n number of bulls and bear cycles in the last 25, 30 years. From the current market setup, which phase we are? Are we in the third phase of the bull cycle or the fourth phase of the bull cycle? Where we stand right now and how much potential it has to go further from there?
Nimesh, the way I studied it through Joe Granville's theory is that we have 3 phases of the bull market: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Phase 3 is the shortest and the sharpest rise in the bull market, but it's also the terminal phase of the bull market. I don't believe we are there. Despite that index making new high, breadth being negative, I think these are temporary phenomena that will keep coming and going. I think there's reason to be optimistic over, say, a 1-year period. Not necessarily a 3-6 month period, but over a 1-year period. So we're well within the second phase of the bull market.
That's Ramesh Damani betting big on QSR. Let's do one thing. Let's take our final break of the show. Once we come back, the Pied Piper of Indian stock market, Sameer Arora, will join us with his investment bets.